Now the next task is we have to monitor the PLC tag status with auto refresh, which I talked in the last video. So let's see the solution for that. In this case, we have an auto refresh, and you will see that I'm using more files. We are using two more files. One is ioserver.htm and jQuery. Now jQuery is the main file which will do auto refresh in the background. And basically jQuery read the information from ioserver, which will have the tags, and push it to the HTML file, this HTML code. That's the function of jQuery, read the tags, move it to the HTML code. All right. So let's see that. What is the HTML code? The PLC code will remain same. We are not changing anything in that. We just change our HTML code and add some extra values, extra files. So let me open up the folder where I have all the files. So you can see that we have HTML, ioserver, jQuery. And this jQuery is a standard file. You can find it on the internet. Also, you can download from the resource, which I will give you. You can download this file from there. And if I open this file, and if you understand jQuery, this is a jQuery format of programming. Okay, if you're good in that, you can read it, but you can also use it by default, same as it is. You don't have to make any changes in jQuery. The only thing is ioserver. So let's go to the ioserver, and here what we are doing is now we are defining the name for a tag. We know that this is our tag, and remember the syntax. This is how we are using the syntax. Okay, so this tag, which is this one, this we have used directly in our last task. Directly we were using colon equivalent to start colon, but now we assign this tag information in another tag which is called start. Okay, you can also write here start1, start2, whatever you want you can write here, but this should be same. This is the PLC tag. This is the main PLC tag. Similarly, for the motor, I'm using simple motor. For the data, I'm using normal data or data, whatever you say, I'm using normal data. Okay, so this is defined in ioserver. Now io I write just because it's easy to recognize its input output. Server.htm is just an HTML file. Okay, now we go back to our HTML. Here we have some changes and some additions. First of all, you will notice I have added a JavaScript, and this is, you can write script source and your name of your JavaScript file, and you can close the script header. All right, and next is pretty much same, and the only difference you will find here is this one. Here I have entered ID, which is start, and the reference, this is a default value 0, motor with default value 0, data with default value 0. Okay, this is just a dummy value. This has nothing to do with the PLC tag, but the important thing is you have to write here the tag which you want to read. So this start was defined here. This is the start. This motor is defined here, so just reading the value from the motor tag. Similarly, the data tag is defined here. Okay, now how it is reading the value, this coding is exactly same, just we have added the script and we have added this ID here compared to the last one. In addition to that, you have to write the script. Okay, I'm using this information from one of the blog. I would like to mention that because somebody has done a really good job. So I'm just taking reference information from this blog, dmcinfo.com. So they have mentioned some steps, and you can also just follow the steps from there. I'm just making a video. So I would like to thank you, whoever did that, for this excellent job. So what I'm going here back to my code. So I added this code here. Now here, if you are aware of JSON, I have added a JSON code. You can see that it says get JSON URL function result. Now here is very important. You have to copy this code, and here if you see this data and start and motor, this data actually is coming from here. This data, the start is coming from here, the start, and this motor is coming from here on the left part, and then it is putting the result into this data, and this data is here, and this start is here, and this motor is here. That's it. So if you have more tags, you have to just define more tags here first. So you have to write more tags, like if you have 10 more tags, you can define it here, and then you have to just add one more line. You can just copy and paste it on the bottom. You can define the tag. So let's do one example so that it will be more clear to you. I will go to my main page, and this is actually moving value to my data MW3. I can also make one more here. So let's just copy and paste if that works. Let me just take another. parallel, yeah, then copy, paste. So instead of MW3, I will go to my PLC tag first, and let's make data2, let's say data2, and it's MW6. Here I will delete data2, and that's my MW6. So let it be on stage, let it be 100, and if this is off, so one more, copy this one, paste, and let me put here NC, let it be 200. So this is my MW6 basically. So I have add one more tag. If the bit is on, it will move 100. If the bit is off, it will move 200. So we have another tag, data2. All right. So what I have to do, I will go back to my IO server. Here I will just maybe copy this one, easiest way, and I will add, let's say, data2 and data2. Perfect. Go back to my HTML, copy this one, enter data2, and also I need one more row, data in MW6, data2. That's it. So I've added one more tag, and you don't have to make any more changes. This will remain like this, jQuery, and my style will remain the same. You just have to make changes to IO server and index. So I will save all these files, go back to my PLC, and check the blocks, regenerate the blocks, going down and generate blocks. So it will update the blocks updated. Now I will download this logic in my PLC, and we can see the results. You can also see the result. For example, if you just want to check before going to the PLC, I can see in my Google Chrome, yeah, I have 4 tags now, so that's okay, and its default value is coming 0. It's totally fine. So logic is almost downloaded, and I can make it short, open my main logic, go online, and I will refresh this one. This is our task 4, so it should say task 4, click this one. Simultaneously I will do in my web page in my tablet. This should have values automatically. Let me refresh again. Let me check. Something has a problem. Task 4. This was also task 4. Data2. Everything looks okay. Let me regenerate the blocks, maybe. So delete the blocks, yes, and generate the blocks again. Blocks looks okay. We have 4 blocks, and this looks also okay. Okay, now download this again. Stop all, load, finish, refresh. This is kind of strange. This should work. Let me go online, maybe change the value. So actually after half an hour, almost an hour of research and R&D, I find out the problem was here. I forgot to include this comma. And because of that, the jQuery was unable to retrieve this format of tagging. So make sure you have this comma in the second last tag format. So you need to have that here. And if you see that here, now we have these values. So I'll go back to my main logic, and I will show you that these are the dynamic values. which means it will automatically refresh itself. So let's go back to online, and you can also see that in my tablet. So if I turn on my input to 1, it gets true, and you will see in the web page it will change in fraction of seconds. You can see that the changes are there. All right. So this depends upon how much busy your PLC is versus the PLC scan time, how much traffic it is handling at the moment, and then this situation it will refresh. So that's not a real-time update. So don't be confused, it's not real time. It will depend upon how much tags you are using and how much is the scan time of your PLC. That also depending. So if I turn it off, you will notice this will go back to the values from the PLC. So this input will be 00, and this is 75, and that's 200, and that's the same, and you can see in my tablet. So this was all about how you can automatically refresh. I will review what we have done. So in our HTML file, let me close the other files first of all. I will open up again my task 4 in the HTML file, and we have made changes in the IO server. So first of all, you have to put the tags in your IO server files, and these are the tags coming directly from VLC. Okay, I also made some changes. I want to update you. Maybe I said incorrectly before. So this data2 data and this more and this start, these are the PLC tags. Okay, so if I show you here, these are the PLC tags. If I show you, these are directly coming from here: start, data, data2, and motor. All right, and now I define, I name it differently now so that it can be clear. Now I write start tag, motor tag, data tag, and data2 tag. So these are the custom variables I have made inside my IO server. Okay, now if I go to my index.html, if I go to down, you will notice I wrote here the result of data tag, which means the result of this tag, which is taking the PLC data, is going into this data, which is mentioned here. Similarly, result of start tag, this start tag is coming from here, start tag, which is reading from the PLC. So this is internal variable. Okay, so this internal variable, the result of this internal variable is getting into the start address, and this start we are writing here. So whatever you write here, these variables, this is another variable, you need to define it here in your rows. Okay, and these are the tags which you define here. Okay, so don't get confused. Initially the value coming to the PLC tag, from PLC tag the values goes to another variable in IO server, and in your index.html this variable goes to another variable, another address, data, that you have to put here. Okay, so that's how the data handling is going on. So you can add as much you can add as much tags you want, and all you have to do is just put the tags in this JSON file, and you have to make sure also that this is ioserver.htm. So this is reading from this HTML file, and this is a JSON format, and you can just put more tags here in the bottom, and you can reorganize your HTML file the way you want if you're good in HTMLs. Okay, so this was all about how to do auto refresh in Siemens web server. I will try to make one more video, but I will put that in the next update of this course, how to make switches in the web server if you want to actuate something. But this is not highly recommended, because if your server is accessed by different people, yeah, then it will be sometimes conflictions. But I would say for monitoring, web server is a very nice way, very light way to represent the value, to show the value in your dashboard, in your screen, or in a local network. You can do that. It's very user intuitive. All right, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.